Now weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa.
Good morning. We had some cloud cover out there, but it looks like the camera went out. 77 degrees in Branson right now. The south and west wind at 11 miles per hour with that humidity increasing. It's 76 degrees in Springfield right now, 75 in Rolla, 77 in Fort Leonard, and 76 in West Plains. These temperatures are still warming into the middle and upper 70s, even despite the cloud cover, because we've got a very breezy south wind and we've got humidity increasing as well. These dew points now getting into the 60s and close to 70 degrees. And to put that in perspective, once the dew point gets close to the temperature, that's where we've got the saturated air and moisture increasing. So dew points in the 60s, temperatures in the 70s, that's pretty close. Might even feel a little bit sticky out there. We're increasing the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico ahead of the system that's continuing to approach as we head through tonight and into tomorrow. We've got a dry line draped across parts of Nebraska into Kansas and Oklahoma. That's where that separation of the really dry air with the browns that you see and the really moist air with the greens that you see, and that's likely where we'll see storms fire up later on this afternoon and evening for those parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Also, we've got the path of storminess, that jet stream that's continuing to break down. Remember when I showed this to you earlier this week? More of this was kind of up here. We were kind of out of the way of it, but look at how it's come down. The Ozarks are continuing to get into the path of the storminess, and that's going to help fuel some of these storms as we head through the overnight hours. Storm reports from yesterday are in a pretty similar spot to where they'll be today. We have multiple tornadoes, over 20 tornadoes reported between Kansas and Nebraska, over 100 wind and hail reports there as well. Some really impressive wedge tornado video. Now today, for the most part, almost the same spot. We've got that moderate risk from St. Joseph all the way down to Wichita, and then we've got that enhanced risk getting down into Oklahoma. It's this area where we'll likely see storms start to fire up, and then we'll kind of get clipped from the bottom edge of it for the northern part of the Ozarks. And something for if you have family or friends that are in northwest Missouri, the Storm Prediction Center is advertising winds up to hurricane force because this system is just going to organize itself and kind of bend in a way that is just going to push some very destructive, damaging winds possible into that area. So if you've got friends and family there, heads up. Our severe risk here locally overnight has been tucked up farther north and west as we kind of get clipped from the north from that complex of storms. That slight risk up from Nevada through Lake of the Ozarks, but then by tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, we've all got the threat to see some of these storms stay strong to severe because we'll have the atmosphere ripe and ready to keep these storms going as we head through the afternoon. So the time frame I'm most concerned about is overnight after midnight tonight into tomorrow morning, possibly into the afternoon. Some question marks here about how long these storms kind of last through the evening and overnight hours tomorrow. Main threats for wind and hail. Localized flooding also a possibility and a concern. The tornado threat on the low end side. We'll have to keep an eye out for that though, because we cannot rule out the threat for a tornado. Stormy for the morning commute. We'll have afternoon storms possible. All modes of severe weather possible with some heavy rain likely too. 1 to 2 inches of rain possible. We'll have those showers and storms all clear by Friday morning. Timing it out, we've got the clouds today. Nothing in the way of rain really, but you see those storms starting to fire up to the north and west. They'll clip areas to the north by the overnight hours and then into tomorrow morning. That's where we've got that threat mainly for damaging winds and large hail. And then another complex kind of moves up from the south and west tomorrow. And then we could keep a couple of rounds going in the afternoon. We'll have to keep eyes out for that. 83 today, breezy and warm, mostly cloudy, 69 overnight with those storms overnight. And then 78 tomorrow, showers and storms, stay weather aware, will clear out by Friday.